This is Howie Sandberg for Northeast Hardcore Wrestling. Deviant behavior is now in the books. And folks, what a night of action it was. So where do we start? How about the beginning? But folks, this truly isn't the beginning. This isn't the end. This isn't even the beginning of the end, yet the end of the beginning. Chaos Knight Sr. versus Double H. I felt this was a fantastic decision by the booking committee to start the night with this match. The crowd was hot for it. Bruised and bloodied by Seether would crank up over the arena sound system. Out walks Double H, the vile, nasty, wicked, despicable heel that he is, the self-proclaimed legend of wrestling, was greeted with serious heel heat. Not much of a greeting, quite frankly, but Double H did have them eating out of the palm of his hand. Those jeers would quickly turn to cheers when Boom by POD played over the arena sound system. Out walks Chaos Knight and his lovely, beautiful wife, Nightshade. Boom by POD. I never knew that a kid like me could take his mic around the world and rock the big SD and rock the masses. From Madrid to Calabasas to Tijuana, Mexico, and the devils of Tokyo say they know me though because I put in the work, commit my life to rebirth, well respected because that's my word. And I'm sure you heard about a new sound going round. She might have left my hood, but she was born in my town. Okay, I'm not much of a singer. I apologize. Your ears are probably bleeding. That will never happen again. I promise that'll never happen again. Boy, do I feel stupid. Just a fantastic match. In my opinion, one of the best matches of the evening. Both men worked extremely hard. This match quickly disintegrated and dissolved into a brawl outside of the ring. Let's fast forward towards the end of the match. Death Valley Driver on Chaos Knight's mind. He was looking to end this thing. Lifted up Double H, is about to hit his move when Double H's foot accidentally collided and met the referee's face, knocking him out. What I want to know is, where, oh where, does NEHW find these people? These clueless, inept referees. They make NFL officials seem competent. And that is a hard thing to do. He hits the Death Valley Driver, and makes the cover. You could cover and count to 1,000. But the referee was not conscious to make that count. Eventually, he would roll over, and boy, oh boy, what a super slow count. 1, 2, kick out. Terrible, just terrible. Double H would seize the opportunity, hitting a mule kick to the family jewels of Chaos Knight Sr. Nightshade. Could not have been liking that one. Things will be quiet in the Nightshade master, in the Knight family, master bedroom for days to come, undoubtedly. She would get up on the ring apron and plead with Double H not to hit his heartthrob neck drop finisher on her man. And it is then that Double H grabbed her by the hair. Awful, disgusting, deplorable. But that's who Double H is. However, his eye was not on the prize. Big mistake. Chaos Knight Sr. recovers, lifts Double H over his head once again, hits the Death Valley Driver. The ref has now come to. 1, 2, 3, the crowd explodes. Chaos Knight Sr. is your winner. Double H threw a tantrum after the match of sorts and would beat down Chaos Knight Sr. in front of a frantic Nightshade. Enter Lightning Mountain. Now, Lightning Mountain has been frustrated with his perception that other wrestlers do not have his back. But he is still showing honor. He's still showing integrity. He's still holding true to his core values. And being the hero that he is, the nobleman that he is, he enters the ring with his trusted shovel. He stares down Double H. Double H has some choice words for Lightning Mountain. He obviously says the magic word. Lightning Mountain swings the shovel, but Double H gets out of the way, and he hits Chaos Knight in the head with the shovel. Was Lightning Mountain upset? Was Lightning Mountain disgusted, angered? He didn't have much of a reaction at all. Hops out of the ring. Nightshade shouts something at Lightning Mountain, to which he completely ignores and heads to the back. What is going on here? What is going on here? Just a fantastic way to open the night. I am not a proponent of the babyface always needing to win the opening match of the evening. Yes, it does get the crowd hot and set the tone for the rest of the night, but it doesn't need to be a tried and true formula necessarily. I do not like how WWE telegraphs its opening matches as the babyfaces almost always win. It does not have to always be the case, but this was just a really fine choice of match to start Deviant Behavior. The next match of the night was the 6 tag team Money in the Bank ladder match, with the winning team receiving a contract to cash in for a shot. Not just any shot, not just a dog shot, not just a liver shot, but a shot. Wait a second. I just realized something. That spot, that bit was for spot, not shot. What am I doing? Boy, that won't ever happen again, I promise you. Boy, do I feel stupid. A shot at the World Tag Team Championship, the NEHW World Tag Team Championships, at a future date and time of their choosing. The winner of this match, the Devil's Own, the Red Hot Devil's Own, who are undefeated since arriving in Northeast Hardcore Wrestling. Members of the Cartel, that group has been dominant. That wasn't their only win of the night. We'll talk about that just a little bit later. The third match of the evening was a cockfight. The first ever FWA cockfight. More to love Billy Johnson, the pork chop prize fighter, the buffet bully, the steak night delight, the pizzeria poologist, taking on Big Dick Bastard. This one was fun. This one was absolutely fun. Billy doing his best Hulk Hogan impersonation. Eventually, with a really big splash, Billy Johnson would score the win. And I think only fitting on this night and this day where sadly the legendary Meatloaf passed away. I think it was only fitting that Billy Johnson won the match, paying homage to Meatloaf in the process. Of course, Meatloaf singing Billy Johnson's entrance theme song. Let's go on. We were talking about the Cartel just a few minutes ago. God's Herald Legion Cage versus Brock the Pulverizer. This was a 10-minute knockdown, drag-out, slugfest, a dogfight. Both men hit their finishers early. Lo and behold, it didn't get the job done. The match would continue. Both men would duke it out. In the end, making a surprise appearance was Lance Rave. Lance Rave, of all people. He's not even signed to NEHW. And he would cost Brock the match. Legion Cage with yet another win. The cartel is on fire. We have not seen the last of this feud. That is for sure. The Underdogs versus the Religion for the NEHW World Tag Team titles. The Underdogs have been patient men. This was their first chance, their first opportunity to win these titles since arriving on the scene back in the fall of 2020. In the end, with some shenanigans, and I know you guys love that word, shenanigans, the Religion would score the win in controversial fashion. Now, the Religion are the champions. They represent the championships very, very well. But I do believe this has to be considered somewhat of a minor upset. The Underdogs usually come up big in these types of situations. But this was not their night. Perhaps another night it will be their moment to become NEHW World Tag Team Champions, not at Deviant Behavior. Not on this evening. F the Office, Freddie Fuller versus Hitman Howie Sandberg in an exploding ring match. This one was violent. This one was grotesque. Yet a beautiful work of grotesque art. Is that an oxymoron? It might be, but it feels true. This one would end, it would blow up in Hitman's face, pun intended, when Freddie Fuller would light his flamethrower and fire would meet Howie's face. Freddie Fuller with yet another victory over Hitman Howie Sandberg. This has become disturbing. This has become, maybe disturbing is the wrong word. This has become alarming. Hitman Howie Sandberg, his reputation, his legacy precedes him. We know all about all of the big wins throughout his legendary career. But this stretch, this slump that he is in, is the worst of his entire career. Perhaps, just perhaps, the maestro has broken him. Mentally, psychologically, and Freddie Fuller perhaps has broken him physically. It is safe to say that after this match, fans will have lost complete belief in their hero. There were still some fans sticking with the Hitman, showing their support, wanting to believe. A young fan, Aliana, said, Howie's been losing a lot, but I want him to win so bad, and I still believe in him. Freddie Fuller is a bad, bad man, and he's going to pay. Well, I'm sorry, Aliana. Howie did not make him pay. Even Sandberg's young fans, you have to wonder if they still believe. Just stunning. Absolutely stunning. We'll see where this heads, where this goes on the next episode of Total Anarchy. Freddie Fuller continues his winning ways. Voted as the heel of the year. Congratulations on that award. Next up, the Intercontinental Championship on the line. Princess Peter versus Khalil the Lion. This is a match that was 1 year in the making. Khalil returned, brutally attacked both Peter and Bubba, the prison guard, with a crowbar. The fans love that. And now it was finally time to duke it out in an actual wrestling match for all the marbles. This match was plagued by outside interference. Blackout. Well, I'm thinking of Sancho's former bodyguard. Have I had my Starbucks yet? Yes, I have. I have no excuse. No excuse, ladies and gentlemen. And shameless cheap plug. You can now find Blackout in World Class Championship Wrestling. Bubba the prison guard would cut Khalil's legs out from underneath him when they were outside of the ring with a chop block. The Scorpion, Khalil's new friend, his backup, would chase Bubba, and they would duke it out all the way to the back. The classic power game versus athletic, undersized, talented Princess Peter. Khalil with that power game. Just so muscular, just so strong. As we documented, these two men loathe one another. The heat is real. I will break kayfabe and tell you that. Behind the scenes, these two men hate each other. Back and forth we would go. Peter would ground Khalil and work on that injured leg. Very smart strategy by the flamboyant, controversial IC champion. Hit and run. And there were portions of this match where Khalil was just too much to handle. What a specimen he is. And not only is this man built, not only is this man powerful, but this man can work. Talk about a booker's dream. Anyhow, what would happen is that Bubba would emerge from the back, run back out to the ring. And he would try to get involved. And then, just a little bit later, something very strange was happening. There was a murmur in the crowd. Hopping the barrier, separating the fans from the ring, was a man in a long trench coat. He would go on to flash everyone in the ring and everyone in the crowd that was facing his direction. Thankfully, NEHW censors were quick on the draw. That's not just any man. That's Lobo Vasquez. Lobo Vasquez. Am I pronouncing that correctly? No, Lobo Vasquez, I believe. Security would tackle him, wrestle him to the ground, and handcuff him. However, with everyone distracted in the ring, Bubba would throw the crowbar that Khalil had brought out with him earlier on. He would throw that to Peter. Peter would catch it. Khalil turns around. Boom! Crowbar shot to the head. Referee turns around. 1, 2, 3. Peter retains the Intercontinental Championship. Ladies and gentlemen, this feud is far, far from over. Let's move on. The Backyard Death Match. Awesome Force versus Mud Show Outlaw Iggy Crumb. This one was bizarre. Either you will love it for how it is, or you will hate it. It will be a polarizing match, that is for sure. All kinds of crazy stuff here. Where do we even start? This seemed like some sort of sick and twisted world of, I don't even want to say wrestling, because this wasn't really wrestling. Yet the 20 smart marks in the crowd would chant, "This is wrestling." No. Actually, I recant that. I apologize. At one point, Awesome Force locked a sleeper on Iggy Crumb, and the fans would chant, "This is not wrestling. This is not wrestling." Really? A dog that was set on fire would attack Iggy Crumb. At one point, Awesome Force and Iggy Crumb would wind up by a pool in this gigantic backyard. And Iggy Crumb performed maybe the only wrestling move in his arsenal. Because, let's face it, I mean, this man doesn't know a wrist lock from a wristwatch. He would plant Awesome Force with a DDT on the diving board and toss him into the pool. How do you win a backyard wrestling death match? I don't think anybody knows. Perhaps you fight and you fight and you fight on until one man cannot continue, hence the deathmatch theme. Well, Awesome Force was in the pool. Awesome Force cannot swim. I suppose that is one way to win a match. Literally kill your opponent. A minute would go by. No sign of Awesome Force. He was drowning. The 20 smart marks would look up at the sky, and who would it be? Not a bird, not a plane, but Captain Breakfast coming down on a zip line. To save the day, he would jump into the pool and bring Awesome Force up to the surface, resuscitating him with CPR and keeping him in this match, keeping him alive in this match. I think all of the above would be true. Very strange to say. Anyhow, let's fast forward to the end of this train wreck, this hardcore, what do you even call it? I don't know. I don't know. Awesome Force would climb up to the roof of the house in an awesome, no pun intended, spot. He would fly all the way down to the ring and connect on Iggy Crumb with his trademark awesome elbow drop. Both men were down. The man playing referee, or the young kid playing referee, would slowly count. He would get up to 9. That is when several smart marks would enter the ring, lift Iggy Crumb's dead weight up. Awesome Force would not get up at the count of 10, but Iggy Crumb technically was standing. Your winner, Mud Show Outlaw Iggy Crumb, and somewhere, James Crabtree, somewhere, Jim Cornette is having a stroke. In the main event, the silent assassin Ryu went one-on-one with John E. Legend, the hometown boy, at the TD Garden in Boston, Massachusetts, greeted with a hero's welcome. Just a phenomenal match, as one would expect. Both of these men, supremely talented. Meltzer would give this thing 4 stars. Probably would have gotten 5 if it wasn't for the shenanigans. There's that word once again. You guys, you love the word shenanigans, I've heard. Lots of shenanigans towards the end of this match. In the end, the fans would go home happy as John E. Legend, by hook or by crook, emerged victorious. Johnny Legend, still your NEHW World Heavyweight Champion. And that was Deviant Behavior. Total Anarchy will take place on January 31st. We will see what the fallout is. And from there, all roads will lead to Fantasy Bash, the granddaddy of them all, the FWA-wide pay-per-view. Right around the corner at the end of March. Where does time go? It will be interesting to see where things go from here. That is your Deviant Behavior recap. This has been Howie Sandberg saying thank you for listening. I'll see you all on the proverbial flip side.